Hey, what's up, world? Just getting back with y'all. I ain't made a video in a few days since my very first one. I've been down a little bit. I've been down in pain a lot. So I really hadn't even been wanting to talk. I've been that sore to where I couldn't even get things out, and I'm real sore right now. Like I said, I'm coming off a abscess surgery that was in my buttocks, on the left side of my buttocks. That I thought was a cancer tumor, which ended up not being that. But we're gonna get into that. Like I said, I'm gonna try to take these videos step by step, which it won't be. I'm gonna be back and forth, like I said in the first video. But I found some stuff I jotted down a while back when I was first diagnosed, and I wanted to read a little bit of it. It's a little bit of my story. And then I'm gonna analyze that or talk about it. First, like I said, if y'all want to keep in touch and stay in touch with this, I'm going to call this one My Journey with Rectal Cancer. No, My Battle with Rectal Cancer, Part 2. Yeah, the first one was Part 1, so this one's going to be Part 2. And here I am laid in the bed again, just took a pain pill so I can get this across to y'all because I want y'all to know what I went through. I want to inspire somebody who got rectal cancer or colon cancer, breast cancer, or anything that is not yours. Give it to God. I want you to realize that those doctors would tell you it's your cancer. Let's come in and talk about your cancer. Your cancer. They'll put it in the letters when they send it to you. We need to make you an appointment to talk about your cancer. And then they'll have you saying it. My cancer. My cancer. And before you know it, you got cancer. But hopefully, like I said, I'll inspire somebody and motivate somebody to believe that it's not yours. It's not yours. Give it to God and everything will be all right. But first, it's with you. You got to believe that it's not yours. Okay? All right? Just like everybody else say on their videos, I'm new to this. Like, subscribe, and comment. Leave some questions, man, because I had a lot of questions in the beginning, but I had nobody to talk to. My doctor, the hemo chief, I'm going to call him Dr. Weirdo. Dr. Weirdo was telling me, I'll find you somebody that you can talk to. I'm here to help you. I'm going to do everything I can because I care about you. All this happy-go-lucky stuff, like he really in my corner. And was telling me I'll find somebody that you can talk to. And I was distraught. I was depressed. I was miserable. Just like anybody else that hear the C word, they just like, oh my God, this can't be me. You got to be kidding. And the first thing you think about is death. But again, people, the C word is not a death sentence. It's just a word. It's just a word, not a death sentence. So believe that. Okay. So like and subscribe and leave a comment, leave a question. Tell me what's going on with you. Reach out, whatever. Later, what I'm saying, I'll be able to reach out to people and hopefully help some people. But that's why I'm doing this journey, because it's been a long time and I should have been told my story and I haven't. But here we go. I'm going to read a little bit of what I said a long time ago. So I've been battling cancer since December 21st, 2021, right before Christmas of 2021. My doctor told me, like I said, I'm going to be reading and I'm going to jump off. 2021, he was happy to tell me too. Sat down beside Mr. Dunmar's, me and my team, we went over everything and the biopsy and everything, and it's cancer. Stage 2 rectal cancer. And it hit me like a brick. Because again, I've always been healthy. I always was at the gym, trying to be healthy, trying to be fit. And I was like, where could this have come from? Where could this have come from? All right. But needless to say, I cried. I cried like a baby. No, this can't be. No, because the first thing I thought about is I'm getting ready to die. And I got to be here for my children, my grandchildren. What is going on? Okay, back to the story. I've been battling cancer since December 21st, 2021. Yep, they call me Lucky. That's my nickname, Lucky Lucius. But I tell folks it's my personal metaphor meaning blessed. Everybody says there's no such thing as luck. And if it is, I've had way more bad luck than good. But I've most definitely been so blessed to make it out or come through some of the worst times. Like just 8 years ago, while riding my motorcycle, I get hit by 2 cars and almost lose my life. I just had a car accident July 28th of this year. That was last year, where I got hit by 2 cars again. But that's another story. Doctors thought about amputating my leg on when I had my motorcycle accident. And I went crazy saying, no, don't amputate my leg. Keep my leg as much as possible. I don't want to lose my leg. So I fought for it. And anyway, after several surgeries, almost 1 year later, in bed rest, 2 years of therapy, and still in pain, here I am. Lucky. During those days, I asked God to keep me from ever going through that much pain ever again in life. And here it is, almost 8 years later, facing a whole different kind of pain, which was 2021, 22. I started noticing symptoms maybe a month before I found out. My stomach was rumbling all of the time, like I had gas, like I was hungry. And it just kept rumbling and moving like something was wrong. And it wouldn't stop. No matter what I took for it, no matter what I did, it just kept rumbling and bubbling like I had gas. It started getting worse and worse. Felt a constant dull pain right above my pubic area. I began to feel like I had to have a bowel movement really bad. But when I would have a bowel movement, nothing hardly came out. I would go, but just a pebble here, a pebble there, or sometimes a little gas. But it would feel like I had to use it like I had diarrhea or something. Other than that, I felt good though. Mentally, physically, I was okay. December 8th, I went out for dinner and drinks of 2021. I had a horrible dinner. I won't name the place, but it was a horrible dinner. The food was nasty and too many bad drinks. And I was drinking, and during that time I was drinking a lot, So that could have had something to do with, me coming down to it too. But we'll get into that later. I'm going to try to do this quick. Because I don't want to bore y'all. I want y'all to be excited and stay tuned with this because I'm going to take y'all on this journey with me, like I said, and I want y'all to be inspired and want to do this too. Went out for dinner and drinks. After the bad drinks, the next morning, I woke up feeling good. Went to the bathroom to have a normal morning poop, but nothing was normal about it. Nothing but purplish red liquid. And forgive me if this grosses people out, if this makes people feel bad, but if you found this, you probably was looking for something, with rectal cancer or with your bowel movements going bad or something wrong. So I hope it don't make you feel bad. And if it does, I'm sorry. I went to the bathroom because I got to talk about it. It's going to have to be raw. Everything was purplish red liquid. Spooked the hell out of me. I should have went straight to the hospital right then because I knew something wasn't right, but for some reason I didn't want to believe something was wrong. I felt good. I thought I was in decent shape, but I admit I had been drinking way too much the night before. And I've been drinking alcohol for almost 30 years plus. My conscience kept telling me all that drinking would catch up, and for months before I could hear that voice telling me to slow down, stop, or else, and it had finally happened. I kept telling myself, maybe all those drinks, it finally happened. All those colorful drinks, just caused, no. All those colorful drinks just caused a little bleeding, and everything would be okay. Because like I said, it was purplish red. I had a purple looking drink, a blueberry something, a red this or whatever. So it had color in it. So I figured the bowel movement was just the drinks coming out. Okay. About 30 minutes later, it felt like I had to go again. Use it real bad. And this time I went, the toilet bowl was full of bright red blood. I began to worry, but can you believe I was still in denial? Less than 30 minutes later, nothing but blood. Nothing but blood, and I knew it was blood that time. Told myself if it happens again, I'm going to the hospital. Crazy, but I was just hoping the bleeding would somehow stop, be from, like some internal bleeding, a little hemorrhoids or something that was coming or whatever. Nothing but blood, but this time I felt a little weak. Like if I lost any more blood, I would faint. So this time I rushed to the emergency room. Gave them my symptoms, and they took me straight to the back immediately with no wait. I knew it was something serious then. The nurse said I must take a COVID test before the doctor sees you. She swabbed my nose, and all of a sudden I started feeling sick. But that's another story for later. Doctors came in and asked for a bowel sample. I went to use it. Doctors came in and looked at it, and he saw nothing but blood and says, "Oh my God, you need to be admitted immediately." Right after, the nurse sticks her head in the door and says, "By the way, the COVID test came back positive." They quickly moved me into a room alone. Couldn't have visitors due to protocol of the COVID, confined between four walls, which was breaking me down mentally, which was weakening my immune system even more. That too is another story for later. The next morning of December 10th, I think it was, the bleeding had stopped. So whatever they did in the hospital, and they hooked me up to an IV and everything, the bleeding had stopped. The next morning, they were able to stop the bleeding with some kind of medicine through an IV, but my bowel movement was still very small. They gave me an emergency colonoscopy. And since I wasn't having major COVID symptoms on the third day while I was in the hospital, they just sent me home to quarantine for 14 days. Soon after getting home, the symptoms got worse. Felt like I was dying. And during the time the doctor's calls, felt like I was dying from COVID. It got worse and worse. Soon after that, after getting home, it felt like I was dying. I'm sorry, I keep repeating that. And during that time, the doctors called to tell me that it's urgent that he sees me immediately. I go to his office and sit down. He looks at me and says, "Mr. Dunmars, our team of doctors have thoroughly reviewed your results of your colonoscopy, and we all agree that you have cancer, stage 2 rectal cancer, with the 5.8 centimeter mass tumor." Damn, I was shocked, stunned. A 5.8 centimeter mass? I was in disbelief, straight mortified. Doctor told me the good thing about the disease is that it hadn't penetrated any lymph nodes and hadn't metastasized. Was very treatable, very curable, but said that tumor looked very aggressive and that we needed to act fast. Act fast. Now keep in mind, they say it's not a tumor that grows really, really fast. But I guess mine had got to the point where he was saying that it was aggressive and they needed to act fast. So that's all I thought, you know. Okay. So all I kept thinking, I went home and soon fell into deep depression. I cried some more. For 2 straight weeks I cried. All I kept thinking about was my loved ones, my life, and what I was going to die. Was I going to die soon? I didn't want to talk to anybody or tell anybody. I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed because I always spoke and felt proud of being in good health and hardly ever got sick. So I thought I began to get angry and mad at God, asking the so-called forbidden questions like, why me, Lord? How in the hell? What the F? And some more. January, I met with the doctor again. He told me that him and his team, the doctors, the radiologists, the surgeons, had examined my case, compared it to thousands of other cases, and all agreed on the plan best for me. Now, right there, thousands of other cases. Those thousands of cases are those people. They're not you. Keep in mind, thousands of cases don't mean that case is going to work for you. And what they did with those cases is going to work for you. Okay? The thousands of 8 other cases and all agreed on the plan that was best for me. This plan was 3 phases, consisted of 3 phases. 1, the first phase, radiation and chemo pills for 28 consecutive days, off on the weekends and holidays. So that was radiation and capecitabine pills for 28 days. Rest a couple weeks, then 84 more days of chemo intravenously. I guess that means through my veins, more chemo of 84 more days. Then he gave me the worst news ever. He said, Mr. Dunmars, because of the position and the size of your cancer, your cancer. Our only hope is to shrink the tumor enough where it'll be easy for our surgeons to remove the cancer that's left. It'll be easier for our surgeons to remove the cancer that's left. This being the third and final phase. Surgery that basically consists of carving out my butthole, sewing it back up, cutting a hole in my stomach, slicing my intestines, plugging my intestines into a bag to poop in for the rest of my life. That's where literally got real. I asked him, what are the chances of and the odds of the radiation and chemo shrinking it till it disappears? Doctor said it was almost impossible. Said the only way to avoid a colostomy bag was to have a complete clinical response, meaning the tumor would have to totally disappear. And in his 40 years of practice, only a few have 100% clinical response. I then asked him, what are my chances trying to cure myself naturally? He cut me off really quick and said, please, Mr. Dunmars, don't go that route. I've seen horror stories with people trying to do this the natural way, and it's horrific. People have passed and died, and I hope that you wouldn't go that way. Don't do it, Mr. Dunmars. He was adamant about don't do it the natural way. He reassured me, Mr. Dunmars, believe me, I want to help you to live another 30, 40 years. But you got to believe me, this is the best plan and best attempt at avoiding a bag and living longer. Right then, I got strong. Well, Dr. Weirdo, ain't no way in the hell I'm going to wear a bag for the rest of my life. And I'd rather die than to wear a bag for the rest of my life. And he quickly, would you tell your children that? And I politely said, yes, I would. I thought to myself, if there's anybody that can do this, it's me. I got motivated to do whatever it took to win this battle. Time to man up, accept the challenge, and get ready to fight. I went back home and started researching, Googling, YouTubing, Facebooking, TikToking, IGing, desperately looking for anything and anybody that may have been diagnosed with the same thing. I started seeing many survivors, but they say most of all had a tumor in a place where surgeons was able to do a surgery, then give them a temporary bag, then later put things back together. Most of them had colon cancer, leaving them with scars, or they had a bag attached to their stomach for life. The thought still makes me cringe. I finally found a guy on IG that was from Memphis, Tennessee. He was really from Germantown, Tennessee. And I finally had found someone that had went through what I was going through. Now keep in mind, only 4% of the billions of people in the United States come down with rectal cancer. Only 4%, which takes me back to 4% of the people in the world, or billions in the United States. How many people had Dr. Weirdo faced? How many people had he ran into that had rectal cancer in Memphis, Tennessee? I searched for this guy from Germantown, Tennessee. I searched him for everywhere, and all over the internet. Finally, I found his mom on Facebook. I inboxed her, left my info, and he called me the next day. Finally, I found someone I could talk to. He told me he was given the same plan and was given the same treatment. And after the first 28 days of chemo and radiation, his tumor was gone. He had received a miracle that I was wishing and hoping for. He inspired me, gave me hope that if he could beat it, I can beat it too. However, I was afraid and had doubts that I wouldn't be as lucky, or shall I say, blessed that he had been. Well, since it had worked for him, and I didn't know anybody else that had went through it to give me advice, and listening to other friends and other people that were convincing me and saying, if I were you, I would go with that doctor. That doctor knows what he's talking about. Them doctors, they smart. They know way more than we do. They know way more than we do as far as technology, running those machines, medicines, what will work for this and what will work for that, what might work and all this stuff, but they don't know nothing about nutrition. They don't know more about nutrition than we do. So don't let nobody tell you that they know more than we do. They know some things more than we do. Anyway, because I was afraid and didn't think I would be as lucky as most people, and blessed that he had been after 28 days, and since it had worked for him, I decided to take a leap of faith and begin treatment. I decided to take a leap of faith. I prayed and said, God, I'm going to take this leap of faith and put it in your hands and go ahead and go into radiation and chemo for 28 days. So I went in, and I'm going to stop right there. From the time I started the treatment and talk a little bit about this. When I went in, I had to basically sign my life away. They give you all this paperwork saying, I'm aware that my kidneys could bust. I'm aware that I could have heart failure from this radiation and chemo. I'm aware that I could lose all my erections. I can lose having babies. I can lose my bladder, incontinence, I think that's the word of it. Incontinence, which means you can't control your pee, you can't control your poop. Your muscles will be destroyed to where you'll have to wear Pampers for the rest of your life. And eventually you might end up having to wear a poop bag for the rest of your life. Your hair might fall out. Your hands and stuff might change colors. You might go numb. You're going to lose weight. Basically, you're dying. And when you think about it, why should a person have to die in order to heal? Why should a person have to feel like they're dying in order to be cured? Being cured and healed is supposed to feel good. It's supposed to go from bad to good. It's not supposed to go from bad to hell. It's not supposed to go from miserable to a nightmare, a horrific life. And when I started radiation and chemo, that's where it went. To hell. And I had signed my name on a dotted line like I was signing a contract to a rap contract or a basketball contract, like they were getting ready to save my life, and the person that was making me sign it was the radiology doctor. Now this radiology doctor, I won't say her name, I'm gonna call her Dr. Coughing Cold. Because she kept coughing, her breasts were gone. She was convincing me, saying, "I've had my breast cut off and I had breast cancer. You should want to have this surgery, and don't worry about wearing a colostomy bag for the rest of your life, because you still can have a good life with you and your children and live for another 30 years." And convincing me while she was sitting there with no breasts. Her hygiene wasn't good. Her hair wasn't combed. She looked like she had something. She was maybe 300, 400 pounds. And I'm not knocking her, so don't nobody think I'm that type of person to be downing people. But I'm saying this is the type of person who was giving me advice on what I should do with my life. And then she started farting. She started farting, man, right there in my face, just like she couldn't control it. So her bowels was gone. She couldn't hold her bowels. She was just sitting there. And didn't say excuse me or nothing. And I'm sitting there looking like this lady is nasty. And she said, "See, everybody passes gas. That could happen to you and you won't have any control over it. But that's nothing. You'll still have your life." And I'm saying to myself, this is not the damn life that I want, though. I don't want to be sitting around people and can't control my butthole and can't control my poop and can't control when I use it or can't control when I fart. That's embarrassing. How could I live? I don't. That's not a way to live. So I told her again, "No, ma'am, I'm trying this because I'm hoping for a miracle. I'm hoping after 28 days, this tumor will be gone. And while this 28 days is going on, I'm going to do my part and eat right and drink the right things and give up smoking and drinking, weed, alcohol, everything that I could think of that might have caused me this. Sugar, sweets, and everything." But I didn't know anything about nutrition and everything. So, excuse me, I'm trying to get positioned because I'm hurting. Like I said, I had surgery, abscess surgery, on the 20th, I think it was. But again, this lady is I'm signing my life over to this lady to take care of me. And then I'm going to have to come back and get radiation from them. That's going to be the beginning. So I'm going to come back and tell y'all when I started radiation, because I did start radiation. I came back, I think it was like March 10th. But I'm going to come back with those dates. I'm going to jot some stuff down and look at what I've jotted down. And every time I come back, I'm going to tell y'all a little bit more because I'm hurting real bad and I need to sit back and let this pain go away from this surgery I just had. And keep in mind, this is a abscess that I had cut open and drained, a abscess that they recently told me that was a tumor, that I've been believing that was a tumor for a whole year. This has been almost a year. I've been hurting since about February, March, April sometime. It's been hurting right there close to my anal area. And every time I went to the doctor, they've been saying, yep, it's a tumor. It's a tumor, and you need to hurry up and get in here. And you know, we still, our plan is to still, you know, go with our plan. So they still, you're going to have to do a colostomy bag for the rest of your life. And I'm still saying, well, y'all know my stance on that. I'll die before I wear a colostomy bag. Now, I don't want to die. I don't want to die like that. That's my last resort. But I'm saying it, that's my mentality. I'm going to fight. Even if this pain is from a tumor. Because I'm hoping it's been a week and they say it could be 2 weeks to 8 weeks where abscess could be healing. I don't know how long, but it feels more like the tumor, like the abscess is what's causing all this pain in my buttocks and radiating to my lumbar, causing like sciatica pain in my upper buttocks. Is really, really painful, and it feels like it's coming from where the abscess was drained. And, you know, I've been soaking and it's swelling and going down slowly. But it's hurting really, really bad, man. So that's why I be taking breaks. I can't talk forever, and y'all don't want to hear me forever because it might get boring, you know. And forgive me for not coming back quicker. And I might take a couple days in between because, like I said, you know, bear with me. I can't sit down and I can't get comfortable and talk to y'all, you know, like I want to talk to y'all. I could give y'all the whole story, but I'll be talking probably for hours and hours and hours. So I'm going to cut it here, and I'm going to come back and talk about the horrific radiation that I went through. The horrible radiation that I went through that caused me all kind of pain, all kind of side effects. Man, it felt like somebody was sticking a red hot sword up my anus. And I want to cuss. I want to keep this clean because I don't want YouTube to flag me or nothing because I'm new at this and I don't know what to do. I don't know what I could say. I don't know how to do this. But God put it on my heart, you know, when I was watching that dude on the video. He was saying, you know, why don't you just get on YouTube and start talking and telling your story? And it's been a few years and I ain't been telling my testimony, which God has been telling me, you need to share this. You need to tell somebody else that they can get through this, that they don't need to be scared. You don't need to believe that this is your cancer. You don't need to believe that your life is depending on man. Your life is left up to what that doctor says. The final judge and the final doctor is the Lord himself. Heal me, O Lord, and I shall be healed. Save me, and I will be saved. For as you art thou, I praise, Lord. That's Jeremiah something. I don't know it. Like I said, I'm not a real Bible freak either. I'm not a real spiritual freak either. But I come up in church. You know, I'm a God loving man. I'm a God believing man. But I'm not a church going man and a spiritual man and so much to. Yeah, yes, I am. I'm spiritual, but I'm not religious. That's the word I'm looking for. I'm not a religious person to where, because I've dibbled and dabbed in Muslim, read some of the Quran or whatever, read some of the Bible and, you know, get knowledge from it. I really truly believe my relationship and my God actually speaks. Those same scriptures that the pastors are speaking and preaching, I believe that God has already told me that stuff. How many times does a preacher have to tell me? How many times does a teacher have to tell you 2 + 2 is 4? How many times does a preacher have to tell you God is good? How many times does a preacher have to tell you, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, and whoever shall believe in him shall not perish? How many times does a preacher have to tell you that in Isaiah 54:17, no weapon formed against me shall prosper, and any tongue that rises against me shall be condemned? No weapon formed against me shall prosper. That means even the C word. That means even radiation. That means any tumor or whatever they say you going through. Whatever they say you suffering from, you can get through it. I've been through so much pain, man, you wouldn't believe. And I'm going to tell it all on this channel. I might even go back to my motorcycle accident. Man, it was hell. Getting hit by 2 cars and surviving. Almost losing my leg. They told me I wasn't going to walk no more. They told me I would never do anything without assistance. Some type of assistance. But again, that's another story, man. We're going to stick on this stage 2 rectal tumor. This C word that I've been dealing with since 2021. That they told me right before Christmas. And keep in mind, this surgery that I just had, it was just Christmas, and those doctors were calling me like the damn bill people, the collection recovery people. They were calling me like they would want to give me a free 90 days car warranty, trying to give me some news, and I wouldn't answer. I wouldn't answer the phone. You know why? Because I don't want no news. Any news they got to give me, what difference does it make? I'm going to fight it the natural way. I'm going to fight it the holistic way. I'm going to show you some of that stuff. I'm going to show you some of the things I was doing, and I'm going to tell you some of the things that I was doing. So maybe you can apply it to your life, so you can do some of the things that I was doing, from the herbs and vitamins and the nighttime regimens and the program and the exercising that I had to do, everything that I had to do to get rid of that tumor. To get rid of that tumor the first time. Oh yeah, I can tell you that secret. That first time, I got rid of that tumor. They didn't. Radiation didn't. Because the radiation was hell, and I'm going to tell y'all what happened while I was going through it. I want to keep talking. But like I said, I don't want y'all to get bored with me. And I'm going to come back. God bless each and every one of you. May the Lord be with you. Stay prayed up. Don't stop praying like I did. Keep your relationship with God. Stay close and believe in your mind. Believe in your mind that you can beat anything. That nothing can stop you. That no matter how much pain, you can fight through it. It hurts. It hurts like hell. But you have to find a way. You have to dig down deep like I'm doing now just to talk to y'all. It's throbbing. It's painful. I got to go soak some more. I got to put some hot heat on it. And want to take another pill, but I'm overdosing on opioids, oxycodone, which is another story. I'm going to have to get off that. I'm going to have to beat that when I get through with this, because I know I'm addicted to them now. I'm addicted to the opioids. They gave me some hydrocodone to do that, but they don't help me as much as the oxycodone that I got from the hematology doctor, because he gave it to me because he said I'm in this much pain from the tumor. And we still confuse which pain it is. So there I go talking again, man, because this is a serious issue. I'm going to get through this. I'm going to beat it again. I want to be there for y'all. I want y'all to see me get through it. And I want to stay here with y'all once I get through it and I'm healthy, and be able to sit down and talk and be able to be calm and not hurt while I'm talking. So once again, my name is Lucius Dunmars. They call me Lucky Lucius. But lucky is just a metaphor for being blessed. That's my metaphor for being blessed. Like, subscribe so you can come back to me, so you can get some other, I guess, in the algorithm, whatever they call it, whoever talking about rectal cancer. Because it's not many people talking about rectal cancer, because it's not a high percentage of people that's getting this. And especially how they saying mine is, they saying it's in a bad place and it's a terrible position to where I have to get my rectum cut and I have to wear a colostomy bag for the rest of my life. They won't give me laparoscopic surgery. Well, the doctors I've had before, I don't know what this doctor gonna tell me. I don't know what this doctor is gonna do for me. He's been talking about it may be some way immune therapy. It may be another way. You know, technology is getting better and better. Medicine is getting better and better. But when you get with a doctor that's not really knowledgeable, informative, they might give you the wrong information. It's no different than anybody else. They might give you the wrong information. They might tell you the wrong plan. That doctor, the surgeon, was telling me that their plan was the right plan. And they couldn't shrink the tumor with radiation and chemo in 28 days. With the regimen that I went on with the holistic doctor, the naturopathic doctor that I had, it was gone probably in 30 days or 60 days. I didn't count because I kept going. I wanted to go back to the doctor and make sure that they wouldn't find none. And when I went back, oh Lord, they were sick. They were upset. The whole mood changed from, we want to help you, Mr. Dunmars. We care about you. It went from that to, I don't know how you could do this. All my 40 plus years, I've never seen this. And you might be the first one, Mr. Dunmars. Like he was disappointed. Like he was upset that they couldn't find anything when I went back. But I'm going to give y'all that story when I come back. Like, subscribe, give me a comment, tell me you here, tell me you with me so I can talk back to you. Let's get to know each other. I'm going to try. Like I said, ain't no way I can know everybody. Ain't no way that I can contact everybody. But I'm going to do what I can, man. I'm going to do what I can to try to reach out to people and let them know and tell them what I went through. And if anybody's going through it, whether it's breast cancer, colon cancer, brain, skin, whatever cancer. If there's a will, there's a way. God can get you through it, and God can deliver you, and you and God can beat this. Okay? All right? I'm going to say it one more time because I'm a rookie. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. Do whatever you want, man. Because I'm coming back. And I ain't going to promise you it's going to be tomorrow. I don't know how I'm going to be feeling. But I'm coming back. So don't leave me. And I'm not going to leave you hanging. I said I'm going to do this. And I'm going to do it, man. Stay blessed. Take care of you. Love on yourself. Treat you better than everybody else can treat you. Keep your peace. Peace is part of healing. If you dealing with a situation, ain't giving you peace, get rid of it. Get all the things that's not serving you a purpose out of your life because you need healing. You need meditation with you and God, you and yourself. You need to be able to have peace and talk to yourself. Talk to the so-called cancer that they're saying and say, be gone. I am healed in the name of Jesus. Cast it away. And it'll leave. Anything, any disease, any infection, any type of problems that you got, get rid of it by getting rid of the poison and pollution that's in your life, including people. I don't care if it's family, friends, the people at the church. I don't care who it is. It's time for you to get by yourself and heal for yourself for a change. All right? I love you. And I don't even know you. I love what you stand for. I love the person you are for even staying here and looking at me this long, for listening, for even trying. If you want to go the depth of trying to heal, I love you for it. All right? Take care and be blessed.